The famous British constructor McLaren are missing from the 2025 grid of the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. With a recent team switch now being confirmed, this means that this brand will disappear entirely from IMSA's main series for next season. And in this video, I'll break down all the details as to why this is the case, how this happened, and if we will ever see McLaren return. Like many manufacturers across the world, McLaren cars have been featured all across the IMSA grid over the years. McLaren first joined the GT grid of the WeatherTech Series in 2019, when they entered into that year's race at Mid-Ohio with a McLaren 720S GT3 entry. Since then, the British manufacturer has entered every season of the WeatherTech Series, with entries from a few teams like Compass Racing and Inception Racing. And more recently, Canadian team Pfaff Motorsports made the switch to the constructor in 2024 after running Porsche entries in IMSA. However, despite their participation in IMSA's GT Daytona racing categories, McLaren has yet to take a single win in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, which is honestly a shame because they have been seriously close with multiple second and third place finishes in class. Although McLaren has won in IMSA's smaller series of the Michelin Pilot Challenge, with the first victory obtained in 2023 at Road Atlanta and another one clinched at Laguna Seca, both thanks to the number 69 entry from Motorsports in Action and their McLaren GT4 entry. But unfortunately, McLaren's first WeatherTech sports car victory likely won't come in 2025, as the 720S GT3 Evo is expected not to race in the season, and here's why. Back in 2024, only two McLarens raced across the season, which included the number 70 Inception racing car competing in GTD, and the all-new number 9 Pfaff Motorsports entry, which competed in GTD Pro. Towards the end of the season, Inception Racing switched allegiances to join Ferrari and race a 296 GT3 for the remaining 2 rounds of the season at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. This left just one McLaren on the grid, the number 9 Pfaff entry. But during the off-season and heading into 2025, Pfaff Motorsports confirmed a switch from McLaren to Lamborghini in IMSA, which therefore meant that McLaren's 720S GT3 would not race in 2025 at all, as no teams were planning on running the entries for the upcoming season. However, even though the GT3 McLaren car won't race in IMSA in 2025, unless another team switch to McLaren machinery in the WeatherTech Series, the car will continue to race in sports car endurance racing events in the coming months across the world. For example, the 720S GT3 Evo is expected to race in the World Endurance Championship in the LMGT3 class of 2025, with 2 entries set to compete thanks to United Autosports. And it was recently confirmed that the same team will enter the European Le Mans Series with a McLaren GT3 car and race for the in-class victory in that championship. I also want to point out that if McLaren doesn't compete in the main series in 2025, that doesn't mean that they won't return one day to the WeatherTech Championship of IMSA, as another team could very well enter a 720S GT3 Evo in 2026, and it's not even out of the realm of possibility of a car being entered into the upcoming season of 2025. Even if this manufacturer's GT3 car doesn't get an opportunity to race in IMSA again, the brand could still return to the main championship, because as far as I'm aware, McLaren are still evaluating an LMDH program, which could see them join the IMSA GTP class as well as the WEC Hypercar class one day. So there is still the possibility that we could see them join prototype racing one day in IMSA, especially now that the regulations of LMH and LMDH have been extended till at least 2029. But it is true that with Pfaff Motorsport switching to run a Lamborghini next season, this does mean that no McLaren entries are set to be featured on the IMSA WeatherTech Series grids in 2025. So what do you think about this situation? Is it unfortunate to see McLaren not represented by a team in the GT Daytona classes? And will they ever return with their GT3 car? Well, feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like endurance racing, definitely subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I'm releasing videos on a weekly basis regarding the WEC, IMSA, Intercontinental GT, and much more. To watch more content now, check out these suggested videos I've put on screen. For now though, that's all from me. Thanks for watching.